Before we take a look at the new control statements that we have not yet seen, we're going to revisit the while repetition statement and specifically look at the components of counter-controlled repetition. So if you take a look at this little example, you can see we have a class that just contains a main method, and all of the key components of counter-controlled repetition are in this highlighted block of code. The first key component is the control variable. In our case, we have an integer control variable called counter, which we've initialized to 1, which is a second key component of the counter-controlled repetition, the starting value for the counter. A third key component of counter-controlled repetition is the loop continuation condition, which contains the final value for the counter that keeps the loop going, in this case 10, so we're going to count from 1 through 10. And then the other key piece is the increment of the control variable, or decrement if you're counting backwards, and in this case we're saying to add 1 to the counter. Very important in the body of the while to make sure that we modify the control variable so that eventually the loop continuation condition becomes false, otherwise we'll wind up with an infinite loop. So those are the 4 key components. Let me just run this program quickly so you can see it count from 1 through 10 and display those values. In the next program, we're going to show you that all of those components can be declared in one line in the context of a 4 repetition statement.